I'm trying to play it cool here, but I might throw off. All conditions, baby.
For those who know, and for those who don't, ACG is one of the most influential outdoor brands of our time. And today, we're kicking the doors in at Nike headquarters to not only celebrate that history, but experience the reintroduction of this beloved icon. This is an unprecedented look at one of the OGs of performance and style. From the archives to the innovation labs to the athletes. Buckle up. This is Behind the Brand, All Conditions Gear.
Scooter.
What's up, Ben? Nice to see you, brother.
Good to see you, man.
How you been?
We made it happen.
Made it happen. I can't believe it.
You and I have been talking about this for probably a year at this point.
At least.
Scooter, where are we on campus?
Where are we? We are in front of the Serena Williams building, latest generation of Nike versus the older side of campus.
Very fitting, talking about where ACG is going, but like any great brand, where did it start? What was that heritage? What was that history? And I've nerded out with you before, and as so many of us that have been ACG fans for quite some time, those that don't know, ACG was
it's been there since
the godfather.
The 70s. Yeah.
So excited to pick your brain, down to share your knowledge.
Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
If you want to understand the soul of this brand, just look at some of ACG's original legendary ads. When ACG was unleashed to the public in 1989, they weren't selling a peaceful, spiritual retreat into the woods. They were celebrating a beautiful, defiant chaos. It was loud, it was hypnotic, it made you want to kick a hole through your living room drywall and sprint straight up a mountain. In the 80s and 90s, the outdoor industry, and shoes in particular, were defined by stiff brown leather and heavy boots. But then ACG lobbed a neon-splattered hand grenade into the dirt. It was a sharp departure from the boring beige highway of outdoor gear that filled our closets, and defined a new paradigm that I love, and so many of us now expect from our favorite adventure brands. Amazing technical products, but with style and personality to match. ACG's legendary archives aren't just a preservation of the past. They are foundations to where the brand is going. Today, I'm getting an exclusive look at some of the icons of ACG. And for me, these were styles that not just showcase the power of a brand's point of view, but when I think back, I can say it was one of the most influential brands that inspired me to get outside.
Hey Scooter, good to see you.
Good to see you. How you doing?
Good. Glad to be here.
What's up, John?
Hey Ben, how's it going?
Good to meet you.
I'm very lucky to work at DNA, which is short for the Department of Nike Archives. We have a huge collection, about 500,000 objects that we keep here at World Headquarters to tell the history of Nike and Jordan brand, and that goes back about 50 or 60 years.
The origin story of ACG is incredible, and it's not just a feel-good nostalgia. I personally love to look back at old Nike ACG ads. I love the old styles, but when we think about what those products actually represented back then in sort of innovation and helping reshape, not even reshape, like define a new market. So take us back to like the origins and those sort of first seeds that were planted, even before the ACG brand was launched, because there's some pretty incredible stories and inflection points.
It starts with the K2 expedition in 1978. Jim Whittaker, one of the most successful mountaineers of the Pacific Northwest, put together his second expedition to summit K2 in 1978, and Nike was asked to sponsor. As a result, we have these amazing photos of the team that summited K2 successfully without oxygen, wearing our bright yellow running shoes on the top of the mountain because they were good for rock hopping and they dried fast and they were comfortable. And this is kind of like the seed of all of Nike's outdoor kind of explorations, is how can we take running technology and running innovation together with the mindset of light is right and do something fun and cool outside.
It's an iconic image.
Oh, it's the image.
And going back to that time period, like the late 70s, performance outdoor footwear broadly was dominated by like boots, big, heavier boots.
Big, heavier boots, sure.
A lot of European brands. And that idea that it's just like what we all know and expect today of like fast, modern trail running hikers, it just was not a market then. And this was not an intentional play by Nike to get into outdoors. It was like, we're gonna donate shoes to
Have
these
fun and
guys.
see what happens.
Oftentimes, like the sort of seed to a much bigger idea doesn't come from a business strategy.
No.
It comes from like a very specific insight, a very specific need, making it for yourself, making it for a specific activity, and then boom, lightning strikes in a bottle. You realize there's a lot of other people that are looking for that same thing, and that's where the business comes about.
Some of that original DNA is the strategy. You know what I mean? Like best product, most innovative product for outdoor athletes. Check. Having a shit ton of fun and a reverence, youthful attitude. Check. Right? Being distinctive against the outdoor marketplace and disruptive against the outdoor marketplace. Check. So I feel like the core essence of the ACG that was started in '89 absolutely is still the core essence of what we're pushing forward today.
And so this is the shoe that sort of starts this conversation, right? This is the shoe that we've mentioned Rick Ridgway and John Ross Kelly on that K2 Summit expedition are wearing. And I think when we talk about ACG, we're trying to recreate that moment in some ways, right? We're trying to outfit some of the best athletes in the world to go and do something radical.
And the color's just Nike iconic.
The star of the footwear show when we're talking about heritage ACG footwear products.
I'm sure I'm a long list of many of us said this before, but this is the shoe that got me into ACG.
Me too.
Me too.
It's funny, we must be, yeah, me too.
It is iconic. So Moab.
One thing I want to say about this shoe is like we've all seen it so many times, we are so familiar with it, I think we forget how innovative it is, right? And so it sort of looks like a 90s basketball shoe to us now, but it's not. And it's really important to remember that this is a sneaker boot and that didn't really exist in 1991. And so this is Tinker Hatfield, one of Nike's most talented, most famous footwear designers, putting his kind of design talents to work for the outdoors and creating a brand new lane. And this is a lane that, quite frankly, ACG has continued to play in, right? This sort of space between a hiking boot and a sneaker, and what can we optimize in that space, still providing some kind of support, but also some like lightweight flexibility.
Iconic photo shoot, the very first ACG campaign was shot in Moab. All of these were so far ahead of what was on the market.
You're absolutely right.
I was doing some of my research and of course like learning things that I, like as much as I know about ACG. A lot of the ACG shoes were made in Maine.
I didn't know that.
Saco
Really?
and Bangor
Oh,
and
how about
Exeter.
That makes
No
sense.
way.
A lot of great things come from Maine.
Yeah.
I wanted to highlight some apparel. So we're actually gonna pull out this iconic fleece piece from the mid-90s. Really interesting brush Sherpa. This was called the Pete's Fleece. It's also known as the MBF, Man's Best Friend, because it has a dog on the label, which is sort of unique and interesting. If you were to look up some of the vintage ACG that is the most popular on the market, this is one of those pieces.
The apparel, like Gore-Tex, was part of that initial launch.
Absolutely, and the first place you see a lot of these technologies in the Nike kind of overall catalog is through the lens of ACG. Yep. And the other thing that's happening in this era is that synthetic materials are becoming more and more important in the outdoors. And so ACG is playing with the latest technologies available at the time and helping get them out into the world. This is sort of like the other end of the equation from the fleece layer. Here you have an outer layer. This Stormfit does launch in ACG. Just again, a really great example of a sort of vintage archival ACG functional jacket that is also very fun in its kind of design and color palette, but also lightweight and functional.
And then also like the energy, right? Like this sort of like counterculture of we are not playing by the rules, and snowboarding, especially when it was starting, like was absolutely that. And it's like, of course you have, you're making an innovative product.
Totally.
You're on mountain. It's a community that's adjacent to what you're doing on the trail.
You know, when we say all conditions, we mean all conditions, you know, and so it gives you the license to explore all of that, right? Which is a really, it's a good thing.
It's very cool to now see how all the dots are connecting. And those foundational elements, as you guys have both pointed out, still remain the same.
We've got a special guest, just texted me. This was not planned, but no better person to welcome us to campus than Nike's very own CEO, Elliott Hill, great friend of mine, fellow baseball player on the Austin Moon Towers. I gotta get that in.
Sure is good to have you here, Ben.
Great to see you. Born and bred, Austin, Texas.
Born and bred in Austin, but I spent the majority of my life here in Portland.
How many years?
At Nike, I've been at Nike 33 years now.
33 years. What are you most excited about where ACG is going?
For me, it's about bringing energy, I think, to the outdoor business. And if you think about, and not only to the outdoor business, to that consumer and to Nike. And I also think it's a tremendous opportunity for us from an innovation perspective, from a positioning perspective, from a design and an aesthetic, a storytelling, and then all the way out to the marketplace. So I think it's a tremendous opportunity for us.
What's your favorite ACG shoe? When you think back, Legendary Archives.
Easy.
Right? Easy.
And I still have the original pair, Lava Dome. The tan with the orange swoosh is without question my favorite shoe for. I just think it's clean, it's classic.
One of these shoes
ACG Pegasus.
That'd
be another good one. I could keep going, but I think.
And those shoes didn't just define ACG.
No.
They changed the perception of what we now know and expect from outdoor gear and trail running and all the things that we love and all the energy in the market right now.
No question. I think really what it comes from, Nike was founded with this simple idea: we exist to serve athletes,
Right.
and it doesn't. Being in the outdoors is an athletic pursuit, and those shoes that you're talking about came from insights from those athletes that were on the mountain, on the trail, and how you translate those, and we did ultimately, into products that performed for those athletes.
And one of my favorite quotes you've reminded me.
Oh no!
If you got a body, you're an athlete.
Yeah, if you have a body, you're an athlete.
You know,
all 8 billion consumers in the world.
Right.
So hey, a lot of opportunity for Huckberry, right?
That's right.
Inspire those consumers into the world of sport. A lot of opportunity.
I think
for Nike.
last time we were here on campus, I was defined as a high BMI athlete, but I'm still an athlete.
Yes, you
Right?
are.
My insights are just as important in a different sort of way.
Hey, like I said, our opportunity in this industry, you, us, partnering together, is like, how do we inspire more and more people into the world of sport, fitness, the outdoors, whether that's through trail running or hiking, whatever. The more people that we can get out moving, we believe ultimately makes a better world, and clearly it's good for business as well.
Amen.
So, all right, my man. Good to see you.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too, pal. Good to have you here. Cheers.
Thanks, Elliott, for the inspiration. I'll see you out there at the long time. If the ACG archive is the past, Blue Ribbon Studio is the messy, beautiful future. Tucked far away from the corporate boardroom distractions, this is a dedicated makerspace where designers can screen print, laser cut, and literally build the next great shoe. I met up with Aaron, ACG's VP of Creative Concepts, to find what fuels their wildest ideas and keeps the brand rooted in gritty, athlete-driven performance.
Everything we're trying to do with ACG is really reconnected to a lot of its original purpose. Look at the original executive summary for what ACG was meant to be, and this is a document we dug up in DNA from '89. You know, it's like ACG products must be the best, ACG products must be noticeably different, and ACG products must be versatile.
And that was 1989.
That was 1989.
Right.
You know, sometimes when you ask yourself not necessarily like what the athlete needs, but why they need it, asking the why can deliver a completely unique new experience. So like Radical Air is a great example of saying like, well, I just need to have some sun coverage and make sure I have it as breathable as possible.
Right.
But maybe what they're actually saying, if you ask why they need that, it's because they need to stay cool. When the team was looking at different ways to provide excellent cooling, they used Western States as a muse because Western States is an absolutely psychotic ultra race that began in the late 70s of runners actually wanting to run and compete on the same route that horses would go through the mountains of California. This is the Nike NXT team who's not even looking at like trail running specifically, they're just looking for ways to provide athletes amazing cooling solutions. The NXT team said like, would you want to put an athlete in Western States in the shirt? When I finally got a full look at like what they were thinking of doing from the various iterations into like what became this jersey, and was like, well, I mean, let's put the whole team in it. Let's put a big old ACG logo on it, and let's call them the All Conditions Racing Department.
Yep.
And let's make a splash.
Right.
The ability of Radical Air to accelerate the actual air going to your body and give you a cooling sensation is something that athletes have never felt.
But when I saw this, I'm like, wow, that is a wild design.
Yeah.
And you see Caleb, this is the actual
shirt.
It was wild, like putting it on, and to your point, I'm like, okay, it's got a lot of holes. I know it's gonna breathe well, but you just start moving your arms, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's a holy shit moment.
It's a holy shit moment.
Yeah,
I do love also like what this, going back to, you know, teeing up where we are and what this room represents, is you have to protect that quite literally physical space just to tinker and try things. I mean, this is the Ultra Fly
Yeah,
that many of us have been running on, but you guys added spikes.
totally. I mean, this was a really simple athlete need. You know, putting the spike on the Ultrafly, you know, was just that. We said, like, we were working with Liam just a few weeks ago, and Liam's like, I'm gonna run in this ice race against a car. And why can't we just do that directly to the shoe? So we took like very standard track spikes, stuck them right into the Ultrafly, and, you know, I mean, I haven't rolled back the tape, but as far as I can tell, he kicked the car's ass.
Yeah, he did. This is a jacket I think many of us have seen, especially if we watched the past Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
This was a version of that.
How do we look at adaptivity as a way of creating, like, as a way of creating a garment? And that kind of led us to thinking about, like, not how do we create the best puffer, but what's making it puffy originally, and what does having loft actually do? So rather than like feathers, which are essentially just creating space, you know, for warm air to sit, we said, like, hey, like, maybe we can create air by just using air. Not only could we like create warmth without having down feathers, but we could also change the level of warmth depending on the temperature you find yourself in. Every single day is another opportunity to make progress with something. How can we deliver this sort of like unique attitude of ACG and Nike innovation?
It always comes back to the athlete, the activity, and to your point, like, if it looks cool and makes you feel more confident when you're out there, like, that's the best of both worlds. That's what we're all looking for.
To really understand ACG, you have to talk to the athletes out in the field. So we're heading to Forest Park in Portland to meet up with Liam Myro, professional trail runner and one of the members of the All Conditions Racing Department. People like him are the human guinea pigs, punishing the prototypes out there in the wild. When he's not competing in some of the hardest trail races in the world, or racing cars on an icy track, he's working with the ACG team, providing real-time feedback that directly fuels ACG's most important product innovations.
It's gonna take me from a 10-minute mile down to a 9:40. Gotta dirty these up.
What's up, dude?
What's up, Liam? Good to finally meet you.
I know, man. How are you?
I'm good.
Sick.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Welcome to Leaf.
I was gonna say, where are we?
We're
Your
at
backyard.
This is the home base, man.
So is this where you train?
All the time.
You are now an ACG athlete. What gravitates you to the brand outside of making great product that you are using and running in every day?
I just like to bring in this action piece, this like adventure mindset into running that could be very mundane. ACG, the trails, hiking, exploring, all of those facets just allow yourself to express what you desire a little bit more. And I think that just is coming back to like where we're walking right now. There's something that you connect with in the nature that gives you that idea, that brings you to the epiphany of like, let's achieve this goal. Let's go out there and just like do something crazy.
Yeah, like racing a car.
Racing a car.
By nature of just going out for a run. I mean, we're technically product testing right now. But how often is there a difference between like you going out and training and you going out and product testing?
Ideally, they're just woven together.
Yeah.
If I'm wearing a new piece, then I'm just doing my normal thing.
Right.
If you're thinking about it too much, then you're gonna put.
You almost like force yourself into.
Yeah.
You running in the Ultraflies a lot these days?
Yeah, the Ultrafly 2s, I mean, it's a phenomenal hybrid shoe in my opinion. It's got the carbon plate in there. It's light, it's responsive. There's three major keys of a shoe. The durability of the shoe and how that lasts over a period of time running. The comfort, which is just the overall underfoot feel, and then the quickness of the shoe, which is like a combination of like how light it is and then how responsive it is. And those are like three pillars that I can feel like right away. And so when I'm trying a new prototype out, that's the checklist I'm going through when I'm running. And it takes, there's like the instant reaction piece, which is usually like, oh wow, they're so light. But it takes a while to figure out that durability piece. As an athlete, I'm also learning how to give feedback. What's incredible about the team and about being an ACG athlete now is that you can really feel that interest spiking from the team to make footwear that's going to interact with not just Leaf, but places all around the world.
Well, I know today's a training day. We got to get these shoes dirty.
Should we get it going?
Let's go.
All right.
After a quick warm-up, Liam's taking me to one of his favorite training spots, appropriately named North Nasty, a legendary muddy 11-mile segment with 3,000 feet of burning elevation.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Need to get these shoes dirty.
Oh man.
That did the trick.
Oh yeah, that's a full, looks like a cow pooped on you.
I'm impressed you guys are keeping up. All conditions, baby. That is all conditions. Hamstring's still intact. Ego, not so much. So how many of those will you do?
I mean, if it was like a full workout, I would do like the whole length like 10 times. Wow. Yeah, dude.
Let's go.
Yeah,
One.
Give him an NIL deal or something.
Yeah.
Give him a contract.
We'll work for free shoes.
We have to get back to HQ. My hamstrings are on the brink of exploding, so I'm going to let Liam finish his workout in peace, and we're going to head back to campus. After a quick shoe change, I met up with ACG Senior Design Director Margaret to talk about how time in the field is not just a place to test products, but to draw inspiration from the very landscape these products are built for.
I want to talk about a couple highlights, a couple key collections, and pick your brain on the products themselves, but also like what they represent in sort of the evolution of where ACG is going, and obviously a nod to where ACG has always been.
This is our collection, our most versatile outdoor pant yet. This is called the Dolomiti collection.
For those that need a little geography lesson.
Dolomiti comes from the Dolomites. We went there in June to experience the hut-to-hut experience that the Dolomites are so famous for. And we had built a pair of pants to be the most versatile for that. So what versatility means in that scenario is the hiking is either straight up or straight down in Italy. Lots of river crossings, lots of fresh water, glacial runoff. So it sort of birthed this icon item.
And then in a short as well.
And
obviously.
in a short, yeah, a little more pro leg, if you will. This again is the item you grab no matter your adventure. And then one of the other items that we had on that trip was our insulation package.
Yep.
So we have been playing in lightweight insulation for a couple of years now to perfect it.
Yep.
And in partnership with Primaloft, they have been working also on their synthetic insulation that best replicates down. So it's called Thermoplume Plus, and it's the puffiest, but still blowable. So it's not in a sheet, it's loose like down feathers are. And we worked with them to figure out our best composition here. It's more about the performance of this insulator stays high performance, high warmth, regardless of how wet the item is.
Got it.
So we landed on this beautiful insulation. We have the non-hooded vest, non-hooded jacket, and hooded jacket. Here you can see it in our launch colorway orange. So you can see this guy we built with our love of Nike Aeroloft. Essentially what that innovation ultimately is the bonded baffles with perforations.
Yep.
This item had a big impact on me when it first came out, and I've never stopped thinking about it. We paired the perforated insulation, you can see through here, and into the back. We paired that also with this dry fit fabric here, stretch woven. And then we even took it a step further to like gradient the holes here. So they're smaller in the front where you don't need as much, and bigger towards the the hottest parts of your body. We wanted to build something that is so fast that you don't have to think about it, and you can just really pack it quickly.
That was the easiest. It was very satisfying to watch you do that.
When they wrote the business plan, it's that mantra constantly. Like, we continue to try to be like different, versatile, and for all conditions.
You can't walk onto Nike's campus and not talk about what goes on your feet. To see what's hitting the trail in 2026, we met back up with Brendan, director of Nike ACG Footwear, to get an exclusive look at what's dropping the rest of this year and get a very special preview of an epic reissue of the 1978 LDV, the shoe that inspired it all.
Great to see you again.
Welcome back. Good to see you.
It's like we never left.
I know. Glad to have our friends at Huckberry here always.
We had a great time covering the Ultrafly, so we're not going to touch on that, but want to talk about the rest of the lineup that you guys are putting out in 2026. So let's jump right in and talk about the Zagama line.
And the Zagama is getting into more of that rugged space. So it's really designed, tested, and engineered for maximum cushioning, as well as comfort. So Caleb Olson, one of our athletes, of course, Western States winner, was an integral part of this process because the Zagama was his kind of daily driver, his training partner.
Right.
And so he chose to also train and then race in this quite a lot during the development of the process.
Right, I'm not going to wear a big clunky hiking boot, but I think that's why so many people also love the Zagama. And in classic Nike and ACG form, you guys put some incredible colors out there that are very wearable. So
let's move on. So
yeah.
I think in the spirit of all conditions, we knew we wanted to give Zagama a Gore-Tex update. So what we've done with this, again, same amazing outsole and midsole, so keeping that consistency underfoot, but having a Gore-Tex invisible fit upper. So we're really excited about invisible fit on this one, fitting a lot truer to size. You have that little bit more of stretch within the membrane, and then you have a DWR gaiter or cuff as well to just make sure it's keeping water out, whether it was running, hiking, or just cruising around with the kids. Like this was kind of that one shoe for all conditions up there. And then we're excited to introduce the Zagama Hike.
yes.
So you hit on it in the spirit of kind of light hiking. A number of our athletes already use the Zagama for some of their hiking endeavors. Let's leverage our amazing running DNA, our technology, and our capabilities there, and let's inject that into a hiking offering. So what we have is a Zagama Hike, a different sensation than you might be used to in kind of like the hiking boots that our parents might still choose to hike in. But again, we really want to introduce that lighter, faster, more kind of nimble hiking proposition. So we're really excited to be able to offer this one up and kind of introduce this new world of ACG hike.
Totally. I mean, we were nerding out. We were looking at an old pair of Moabs, and not just the color, but also just that same approach. That's the common theme. Like, what's the design DNA that has gone into every ACG shoe? And that original Moab, like fast hiking. Obviously, there's been a lot of innovation in the space, but this even feels like a next step in terms of fast hikers and what you're seeing on the market. So we got a good rundown of what's coming. The performance first, with the ACG energy style. And we've been talking a lot today about the origin of ACG and some of those initial seeds that were planted. And very excited to see this shoe.
The long distance vector, the LDV, this is a way for us to really kind of like honor the past as we create the future.
Totally.
So this LDV is a bit of like a pro-tro approach, if you will. So we didn't want to take kind of the same technology that was available back in the late 70s. Again, we brought it up to today's standards, so that again, I think it could be that much more comfortable for daily use, or even with the versatility of maybe getting out on a light hike or wherever your day might throw at you.
So it is a retro, more versatile everyday style shoe, but in classic ACG form, and what you guys are doing now, there are those performance elements and those foundations. And we're very excited. Hearing it here first, depending on when you watch this, but we will be launching this on Huckberry, this shoe, and actually the reissue of this color exclusively in North America for at least the first week or two. Getting to spend the day diving deep into the history of ACG, getting even deeper on the future of ACG. This shoe hits a little bit different. I've seen the image many, many times before. Incredibly honored to be launching this on Huckberry. Do both of us a service. It's
go get yourself
you design the shoe, Huckberry, go get yourself a pair. Support these guys.
There's that old adage, they say never meet your heroes. ACG is one of those brands for me. So walking into the Nike mothership today, I was curious if this reintroduction of the brand I grew up with still had that energy, that product innovation, and that excitement that originally inspired me and so many others. I'm happy to report that decades later, its 1989 manifesto, make the absolute best gear, make it wildly different, and have a shitload of fun doing it, is reverberating around the campus and trails of Beaverton, Oregon. And here's what got me. They're not even close to done. They're just getting started. They're building for the future, and I can't wait to see what's next.